is Aisha Kessler. I'm a hypnotherapist with wellspringhypnosis.com, and I'm delighted today to have two guests. I've written a lot about hypnosis and how hypnosis works, but today I want two guests to talk about how they think hypnosis works. These are two of my clients, and they have wonderful success stories to share. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Wendy and her mother, Sandra.
Hi.
Welcome, you two. So I'd like to get to know what you think about hypnosis. I know you have both seen me. Wendy stopped smoking with my hypnosis program in 2006, and you both came for weight loss in 2011. And so, from your opinion, what is hypnosis and how do you think it works for you?
Hypnosis worked for me. I was a skeptic. I really wasn't a believer in it, and I had tried everything else. And when you think of hypnosis, you think of somebody waving a clock in your face. And when we went, it was just a state of mind that you were talking to us and suggestive feedback to us. And so really it helped me because once we left there, I chose vegetables, I chose whole wheat food, healthier options for me. So in a way, it was your voice in my mind that kept helping me, to move along, and then I started losing weight.
That's great, that's great. How about you, Sandra?
What I found is after our first session, Aisha, I wanted to go out and buy the healthiest foods. I wanted vegetables. I wanted to drink more water, which I never really liked water before. So it just healthy choices is what I found after the sessions.
Great. And how much weight did you lose, Sandra?
I've lost over 55 pounds.
And Wendy, how much weight did you lose?
I've lost 75 pounds since coming to you in August of 2011.
That's fantastic. That's really fantastic.
Thank you.
What has changed in your life with all the weight loss?
It's been exciting. Before my knees hurt, I work retail, and so walking around by the end of the day, I was so tired. And it really helped me because now I exercise, I got to buy new clothes, I feel good about myself. I met somebody in my life, and so, everything kind of turned around, and, I feel a lot better about myself. So.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And so you stopped smoking with me and with my program, and that was a group session. You came to one group session and stopped smoking. Can you tell me what that experience was like?
That experience for going to your session for quitting to smoke, actually it's funny because on my way I was a skeptic again. I didn't think that it would work, and I had bought a pack of cigarettes on the way there, and I'd smoked like a chimney all the way there. And then when I got there, you had told us that we needed to throw our cigarettes away, and so I did. And then after I got hypnotized, I didn't crave cigarettes. You were in my brain again, telling me that, it wasn't good for you. And so that just was repetitive in my brain, and it just helped me to quit smoking.
Great. That's great.
Yeah.
And how many years has it been? I guess it's been almost like 6 years.
Almost 7 years. I
7
think it
years.
was 2000, a little before 2006. So, and I smoked about a pack a day.
Yeah.
And I had tried to, quit smoking on my own, but that never worked. And so, I went to the group session, and you had also mentioned that you did weight loss, but of course that took a few years later. But it worked for me.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations on that, Wendy.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look stunning. You look really great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Would you recommend hypnosis to other people?
Oh yes. I'd lose 20 pounds, I'd gain 20 pounds. I was used to being on a yo-yo, and the different supplements that would come out, and I would try it, and then, it just did not stick with me. And I've actually been able to maintain my weight. I was, every week I was losing weight, and, you would always tell me to exercise and think of 5 minutes a day. And so when I started doing that, and eating healthy, and my weight stayed off. and so it's really nice. I feel great. I sleep better. So yeah.
So a lot of fringe benefits.
Oh yes.
Yeah, excellent.
I would recommend it to everybody.
Yeah. So part of the program, Wendy, and for Sandra too, I give you audio CDs to listen to. So the repetitive suggestions can go deeper and deeper. Tell me how the audio CDs worked for you.
They worked great. I actually was able to put it on my cell phone in the evening or at night once, got the kids settled and dinner and, you just get to a quiet place in your house and no distractions, and I would listen to it. And I didn't have to listen to it every day, but maybe once every 2 weeks I would put one on and it would just help me stay motivated.
And how about for you, Sandra?
The audio CDs for me they just supplemented the sessions, and the positive, it was all positive for me, the positive feedback, and the thing that I liked would be the thing for exercise. Just do it. I could hear that over and over again. Just do it. And it didn't matter, like Wendy was saying, whether or not, if you just would give 5 minutes, what's 5 minutes of your time to exercise? But I would find that I would exercise for a lot more than 5 minutes. It just was just a good motivation for me, and I needed that. And I've got knee problems too, and I ended up having to have some arthroscopic surgery done, but all in all, the weight loss and everything, I just feel so much better. It's just been a positive thing for me, and I would highly recommend this. Whereas things before that didn't work for me, this has actually worked, and I've kept my weight off of the 55 pounds for almost 2 years now. So it's just positive.
Wendy, how would you speak to someone who is skeptical about hypnosis and doesn't think it works, and thinks it's hocus pocus, basically? Like, what would you have to say to them?
If anybody was skeptical about doing hypnosis, the thing is I was a skeptic too, and it really has worked for me. I recommend it. People that see me at my work and knew me from before just cannot believe how much weight I've lost. They're like, oh my gosh, so it really has impacted my life. I recommend it to, my coworkers and everybody, but, if you're tired of the yo-yos and tired of, going up and down with your weight, and you want something to maintain in your life and feel good about yourself, then, hypnosis definitely works. So.
Great.
Why do you think that hypnosis is different than all the other things that you tried? Because it seemed like you got to this as like a last stop, right?
Well, really, you have to get to the root of the problem, and really, it's your portion control, how much you eat, when you eat. Really, I eat more now that with being hypnotized, but I'm eating the right things and I'm eating at the right time. So before, I might have got off work at 10 o'clock at night and came home and ate a big bowl of cereal and then went to bed, versus now I wake up, I make oatmeal, I have a snack, I eat my lunch, but I'm choosing healthy things now, versus, waiting to eat breakfast and then I'm starving at lunch. So it really has retrained how I eat, my portion control, and just choosing healthy choices.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit, Sandra, about your fears with hypnosis, or the myths about hypnosis that you found to be untrue?
Well, it was the thing that I felt like I was going to lose control, and I just had a fear about that. I'd always had a fear about even going in for surgery, that under sedation that you would lose control and you would tell secrets or whatever, but it wasn't anything like that. It was just more of a relaxed state that you were in, and it wasn't anything like losing control and you getting up and acting like a chicken upon the request of Aisha or whatever. It was not anything like that. So it was totally different than what I thought hypnosis was all about. And that's all I can say, is that if anyone has those kind of fears, it is not like that. Nothing like that.
I'm very happy to have Wendy and Sandra on the show today, and I'd like to tell anyone listening that if you'd like more information about my programs, you can go to wellspringhypnosis.com, And I also have audio MP3s and audio CDs available for a variety of issues. Thanks for watching. Bye.